So it's just a few days ago here on the channel where I got my first hands-on look at the all-new 2024 Chevy Traverse Z71. Well, today I have yet another first hands-on look, this time with the 2024 GMC Acadia Elevation, which is the sister vehicle to that of the Chevy Traverse. And if you follow the channel, then you'll know this was the one trim level that was not present at the 2024 Chicago Auto Show, where I did get to see the AT4 as well as the Denali with the Denali Ultimate package. So overall, I am very excited to showcase this Elevation trim level in specific, given once again it is one of the most affordable options in the Acadia lineup. Does offer a handful of features which this one does have that are not available on the Chevy Traverse LT, which is going to be the equivalent to this vehicle in the Traverse's lineup in terms of features, options, and pricing. So overall, let's go ahead and not waste more time. Take a look at what this Elevation in specific has to offer for just over $47,000. So the Acadia in front of us is finished in the crystal metallic exterior with the Cortec After Dark leatherette on the inside. Essentially, this is going to be the black interior available here on the Elevation, as there is going to be, I believe, a brown and black two-tone leatherette available as well, depending on which exterior color you do choose. Now, speaking of the crystal metallic, it is going to be one of the extra cost paint colors, coming in at $495 of an additional charge. But as you can see here in the sunlight, it has a ton of metallic flake and is certainly a very unique paint color, pretty much a purple exterior, but I'm glad GM is offering some very unique color offerings on this next generation Acadia. Now, coming to the front end, every Acadia for this next generation will come with full LED lighting for your LED projector headlights, daytime running lights, and turn signals, all in this upper housing right here. And there is going to be LED reflector fog lights located at the corners of the lower of the front bumper, which is great to see for a little bit of additional output. Now, also at the front end, you can see there is a fair amount of bright chrome trim on the Elevation. I assume just to give it a slightly more upscale look versus that of the Chevy Traverse. Now, in the middle of the grille, of course, you get the bright red GMC logo with the cameras for the 360 surround view monitor. And then just below the license plate frame, you can see there is the radar for the adaptive cruise control system, which is going to be standard on every single Traverse and Acadia for this next generation. So great to see some expanded technology in terms of their vehicles. Now, coming around to the side of the Elevation, you can see it does have the standard matte black plastic trim or cladding around the wheel arches and of course the very bottoms of the lower doors there. I do like how they've kind of minimized the use of the cladding. It's still very much present in the design. However, you can see here on a darker exterior color, it is fairly minimal, especially on the door panels, so you don't really notice it or it doesn't stand out quite as much. Now, coming to the wheel and tire setup, this is going to be the standard Elevation wheel design, finished in a bright silver accent. It is going to be wrapped in a 255/55 Continental Cross Contact LX20 all-season tire, so a fairly nice, high-quality all-season. Coming up to the mirror caps, they are going to be gloss black with your LED turn signal integration. There's the cameras on the bottom for the 360 surround view monitor system, and of course, they are going to be heated with standard blind spot detection as well. Now, you do have proximity entry on all four door handles, which is a nice feature that GMC generally adds over the Chevy equivalent. And then here on the side profile of the vehicle, you can see that chrome trim is found on the upper side of the beltline molding there. And you do have the raised matte black plastic roof rails for a little bit of additional cargo hauling capability. And this one is not equipped with the optional panoramic sunroof, but that is going to be available for an additional charge of about $1,500. Now, coming out back, the LED lighting will continue on with the tail lamps, turn signals, and reverse lights. The tail lights and turn signals are going to be located in this upper housing right there, where the LED reverse lights are going to be located at the very bottom of the rear bumper. Now, there you can see the quad outlet exhaust is going to be standard, along with the kind of medium silver trim at the very bottom. Rear parking sensors, there's your all-wheel drive badge if you do get an Acadia with all-wheel drive. And there's the backup camera with the integrated washer nozzle, some nice gloss black trim that spans across the two LED tail lamp assemblies. As you can see, it does not match the Traverse where it comes down around the license plate on that vehicle, but I kind of like this one with the painted hatch a little bit more. And then you do get the nice two-tone Elevation badge with the black on top and the silver at the back. Gives it a nice three-dimensional look to it. And then this vehicle is not equipped with the digital rear view camera mirror, as that unfortunately is not going to be available on the Elevation, but is going to be found on certain AT4 as well as Denali vehicles. So yeah, that's a quick look here at the exterior. I really do like it. I think this color is extremely unique. You can see here in the lighting how much it really does change. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the window stickers so you guys know exactly how this one is equipped. Then we'll jump onto the inside. Now take a look at the window sticker. This Elevation does have the optional luxury package, which includes all of the features and options that are not going to be available on the Traverse LT, which I've mentioned in some of my other videos. This includes the heads-up display, heated rear seats, acoustic laminated windshield glass, as well as the heated wiper park. Unfortunately, as of the time this vehicle was built, the heated wiper park is not available, so GM is giving you a $100 credit, which effectively brings the price down to $800. And then, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it does have the optional crystal metallic for $495, which brings the total MSRP, including destination, to $47,290. Now taking a look on the interior, this one has the Cortec After Dark leatherette on the inside, which is going to be the mostly black interior option available. Starting out here on the door pin, you can see it's going to be a very nice premium design with a lot of nice bright chrome trim. Up top you have a textured section, which is going to be soft touch back portion, as well as the lower armrest with a nearly white accent stitching. You have power windows, mirrors, and locks, with driver's side being the only one as fully automatic. There's going to be the power tailgate down below, as well as the standard 12-speaker Bose premium audio system. If you do get the Denali with the optional packages, it will come with a 16-speaker Bose audio, and as you can see, a good amount of lower door storage. Coming to the driver's seat is going to be a fully powered driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar. And there is going to be the darker leather accent stitch seats with the white accent stitching. And they do get a darker accent stitch up here near the tops of the headrest. And there's going to be a look at the all-new dashboard. So immediately here on the inside of the all-new Acadia, you're going to find a totally different design language than that you'll find in the all-new Chevy Traverse, and I'm sure of the upcoming 2025 Buick Enclave as well. Now in front of the driver, you're going to find the same 11-inch fully digital cluster that is going to be controlled here on the right side of the steering wheel. This displays a lot of the same information that I showcased in the Traverse Z71 video, and there is several different menus and pages that you can customize, including putting the built-in Google Maps up here, nearly a full screen with a little speedometer at the bottom. Now, hopefully I will have a dedicated video where I go over some of the digital infotainment and digital cluster items in a little bit more detail, so make sure you guys stay tuned here on the channel for that. But overall, it is a very nice high-resolution screen with a fair amount of customization. Now coming back to the steering wheel, this is going to be the standard steering wheel, non-Super Cruise equipped. It is going to be heated as standard equipment, which is a fantastic item to see. And overall, it feels about the same amount of thickness, maybe just a hair thinner than that of the Super Cruise wheel that I showcased in the Traverse Z71 video. So if you like a little bit of a thicker steering wheel, you're going to like pretty much all of them here in this next generation Traverse, Acadia, and I'm sure the Enclave as well. You do have your standard adaptive cruise control here on the left side, as well as your infotainment audio multimedia controls on the right side. It does have paddle shifters for the 8-speed automatic transmission on the back, as well as volume and tune rockers for the infotainment screen over here. Now, unfortunately, you do get regular wipers on this particular vehicle, but rain-sense ones are going to be available on some of the higher trims. And then there is going to be the new gear shift stock, which has been relocated here from the center console up to the actual column itself to free up a little bit of additional space and change the overall design of the inside. Now to the left of the steering wheel, you have your electronic parking brake, drive mode select, your dedicated all-wheel drive lock button, engine stop start on off, as well as your gauge cluster dimming. Now here across the dashboard, you can see there's going to be a lot of nice soft touch materials with that same lighter white accent stitching. And then out there in the distance, you can see the heads-up display, which is part of the luxury package here on the Elevation, which I'm sure you can configure on the infotainment system. That is simply a feature on the Traverse you can simply not get at all in the lineup. So if you're looking for a heads-up display, you do have to get an Acadia, either in the Elevation AT4 or Denali trim level. Now coming over here to the infotainment system, this is one of the other aspects you can see is entirely different versus that of the Traverse, as it is in more of a vertical or square orientation versus the horizontal screen that you'll find over there in the Traverse. Now this is about 15.4 inches if I do recall, has wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, built-in Google integration, just like many new GM products. So you can use Google Maps. It does have Amazon Alexa integration, and overall there is a lot of capability with a built-in 5G hotspot as well. Now you control a lot of your vehicle status, including trip information, other menu items here on the actual screen itself. And as you can see, going into the different menus, you can see there's your trip information. You can control your gauge cluster up here as well. And then you can do simple maintenance items such as how much brake pads you have left, oil life, engine life, etc., all on the screen. So that's certainly going to take a little bit of getting used to, as some of the shortcuts, including your headlight controls, are going to be located on here. There's your heads-up display controls and then some of your front lighting. But overall, it is going to be a very nice high-resolution screen, and there you can see the 360 surround view monitor system. But overall, like I said, make sure to stay tuned here on the channel. Hopefully, I will have a dedicated video on that. Anyways, at the very bottom of the screen, you have a fixed in place climate control system, which is dual zone climate control on the front. And then you do have a single zone automatic climate control for the rear occupants. All of these are going to be controlled either via the touch menu buttons or these little toggles at the bottom, which are going to be kind of physical controls if you like to use that instead of clicking on the actual touch screen itself. This vehicle does have only heated front seats, as ventilated seats are not going to be available on the Elevation. You do have to step up to an AT4 or a Denali with some of the optional equipment for that. There's your wireless charging pad here in the center console. You can see it is a nice large space, so it's easy to place a larger smartphone in that. USB-A and USB-C inputs here next to this little storage cubby. It's two nice large or good sized cup holders here in the middle with this nice gray accent trim that is going to have a slight texture to it. I actually really do like this color, and wish they used it a little bit more here on the inside, but that is going to be kind of located here on the dashboard as well. Standard proximity key fob for most recent GM products with your power lift gate, unlock, remote start, etc. Nicely padded soft touch center armrest with the white accent stitching. Inside you're going to find a dual level storage with a little LED light in there, no ports or charging. And then down below the center console, you can see there is going to be a nice large opening for a little bit of additional storage space, just like that of the Chevy Traverse. Now coming up top, you do have a black headliner with your microphones for the active noise cancellation and the hands-free Bluetooth. There's LED vanity illumination. You do have an auto-dimming interior rearview mirror that is standard equipment on every single Acadia, which once again is only found on the highest trim of the Chevy Traverse. Overhead LED lighting, OnStar, SOS, hazard lights, passenger airbag indicator, and there is your storage for your sunglasses. Now, one item I do have in my notes is that there was going to be a garage home link availability on the Elevation, and unfortunately, the way this vehicle is equipped, or maybe GM has removed that from the Elevation, I do not see that located here in this particular vehicle. So I'll have to double check on that. Hopefully I have that information up on the screen to clarify, but this vehicle as equipped does not have the built-in home link. And then there is going to be the regular headliner, as this vehicle is not equipped with the optional panoramic sunroof. So that's going to be a quick look here at the front seat. Let's go ahead and take a quick look out back. So take a look in the second and third rows of the GMC Acadia. All of the materials will follow through from the front seat, which is great to see. So all of the door panels will have the exact same materials. You have a good amount of lower door storage with the Bose audio symbol down there. Now the Elevation only comes in a 7-passenger configuration, so there is no 8-passenger available like that of the Chevy Traverse. So if you're looking for a bench second row seat, unfortunately, that is not going to be available in any Acadia for this next generation as of me filming this video. You do have your recline adjustments as well as your lever to gain easier access into the third row. Both seats will tilt and slide just like that, so I assume you can leave a car seat hooked up into there potentially. And then there is going to be a quick look at the dashboard. You do have nice 2 large cup holders for rear seat occupants. There's your tri-zone automatic climate control as well as your heated second row captain chairs. You do have more USB-C charging as well as a 120 volt outlet for additional charging needs. There's 2 map pockets, one on both of the front seats. Overhead LED lighting, vents, AC, all that good stuff up there. And then you do have the nice padded here armrest for both of the captain chairs with a good amount of room to access the third row. So just like that of the Chevy Traverse, this vehicle is essentially going to have all of the same dimensions on the inside. So you do have a good amount of pass-through room here if you need children or any other people accessing the third row. Now taking a look at that third row, this is going to be a very good usable size, as I found in all of my videos covering this vehicle in its current iteration. Stepping inside, it's going to be very easy using that tilt and slide functionality. And then in terms of amenities, you do have USB-C charging on both the left and right hand side. Unfortunately, no padded armrest. It's just going to be the normal plastic, but you do have bottle or storage here on the armrest. There's going to be your AC vents up top, more LED illumination. And then all of these seating materials, of course, will be the same as the first two rows. So, yep, that's going to be a look here at the interior of the Acadia. Overall, I really do like the third row. It's a decently comfortable place to be if you need it for full size or larger people in general. Certainly kids are going to find it very comfortable given the amount of room they have back here, as long as you do adjust these second row captain chairs accordingly. But as a whole, this is going to be a very usable size for most families out there. Now taking a look at the cargo area behind the third row, you're going to find a very usable and very frankly large amount of room for a vehicle in this segment. And as you can see, with the third row seats folded up, you're going to have enough room for strollers, carry-on luggage, larger luggage, groceries, anything you really may need to put back here on a daily basis. And of course, if you do need additional cargo room, folding down the third row and or the second row seats is very easy. Underneath the floor, you're going to find a very large amount of storage, just like that of the last generation Traverse. And this vehicle still does come equipped with a temporary spare tire located underneath this bin. By simply removing those 4 nuts, you'll find that spare tire if you need it. You do have a 12-volt outlet located here on the passenger side, additional tie-down points. And overall, yeah, this is one of the larger spaces on the midsize 3-row segment of SUV, which I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate. Now wrapping up here on the passenger front seat, the Elevation will also come equipped with a standard power passenger seat, which again is something you will not find on the Traverse LT or even a Z71. So there is the power passenger seat with 4-way power lumbar. There's a better look at the dashboard and some of the materials over there. And then the glove box is going to be damped. Unfortunately, does not appear to have an LED light, but is going to be a very useful size. As you can see, it is pretty empty right now. So overall, yeah, that is a look at the 2024 Acadia Elevation. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what powers this particular vehicle, and then go ahead and wrap up this video. So under the hood of every Acadia in this next generation, you're going to find the same 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, which puts out 328 horsepower and 326 pound-feet of torque, either through the front wheels only or all 4 wheels if you do select all-wheel drive. Now this engine is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and overall I believe this engine is loosely related to that of the 2.7 liter turbo that has been found in some of the larger trucks and SUVs over the last several years. So overall, this is going to be a good amount of power output and pep for a vehicle in the midsize 3-row segment, and of course is a good improvement over the outgoing 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6. So I think that's going to do it here for this tour of the all-new 2024 GMC Acadia Elevation. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and or found something helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel in these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and consider becoming a channel membership to support these videos a little bit further. But anyways, in terms of my overall final thoughts of the Elevation, I really do like this trim level, especially when you compare it to the Traverse LT, given you are getting a handful of options and features, including the power passenger seat and everything found in that luxury package, which is not going to be available in the Traverse LT. And in terms of pricing, when you compare the two, it is going to be a couple $1,000s more than that of a Traverse LT, but I think overall, the value proposition is going to be worth it as long as you like the exterior styling. Obviously, I think the Traverse and the Acadia both look fantastic for this next generation, and I really don't think you can go wrong choosing either one. Ultimately, it's just going to come down to personal preference and which one you think offers a little bit more bang for the buck, or the styling aspect of it as well. The interiors are going to be another point that is going to be quite different between the two, given the entire dashboard layout is a little bit different. I personally like the Traverse's horizontal screens a little bit better than here in the vertical orientation, but again, that is going to be a personal preference type of thing, but the core features and options are going to be very similar, just with Chevy's as well as GMC's kind of infotainment UI skin over the top of each of them. But you guys will have to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate the continued support. Hopefully these videos are helping out if you're interested in this all-new next generation Traverse or Acadia. And have you been able to see one of these in person yet? And I know there are going to be some people that are watching these videos kind of antsy, waiting on their personal vehicles that they have ordered through their local dealership. And I'm sure those are going to be coming over the next several weeks or so, as these vehicles are finally starting to ship in good quantity. So once again, let me know your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate continued support, and hope to see you guys in the next one.